Guys, so one of the things I'm gonna bring up today is the people. I don't want to hang around them if they're not doing something for me, and I do like that in a way, but I don't like when it's directly a thing that people expect from somebody, because I feel like a lot of people, it's not wrong to necessarily think that, but one, it's what do you want from the people and what are you giving them? You know, if you just want love, positivity, a little support, they're gonna, check on you, post you a little bit, they're gonna respond to you, and then you respond to them, you give them some love and some support, like, cool. But if you expect, like, every time you go out, they gotta buy you something, and you never buy anything for them, or you don't do anything for them, I don't know where that comes from. Now, if you're going to their house and helping them cook, clean, maybe fix things, and then you guys go out to eat, yeah, maybe they should get you some food. I do agree with something like that. You guys make the relationship work, and that's why I feel like a lot of relationships, like with me, I mean, I really don't expect things from people. I mean, we're gonna like live with me. If we're gonna be more like a daily thing, like that's gonna be a little different, because I think we both need to give each other something, even if it is just love, positivity, some support, because I feel like not giving that stuff could, just do a disservice. Like, we're already seeing each other. How much harder is it to throw in a compliment and be like, man, that's a nice looking shirt, or you're just checking like, hey, you doing all right? So you're having a little tough day today. Is there anything I can help you with? That's, I feel like, what someone really should be there for. They'll talk to you, be understanding. They're not gonna run and tell everybody else your business and stuff like that. They're gonna keep it real with you. They're gonna talk a little bit about them, and you're gonna do the same thing for them. You're not gonna be telling other people behind their back. And I feel like expecting that from somebody, it's understandable. But expecting like someone's supposed to be paying for you to be around, or like, okay, well, they're not paying, but you want to hang around this guy because he's CEO of a company, or he's selling stock, or he's making money, or doing these things. You want to hang around him because maybe you don't really do any of that, and you're trying to be on that level, and you don't want to hang out with some of your friends that still like you, so you can hang out with them. I think it's kind of like, where do you think you should even be able to be with that guy? But hey, at the same time though, if that guy is gonna let you be around him, and he's a decent person to be around, they can teach you, they can teach you some things, and you're going to try to implement and make yourself better, like, you should be around those people. Like, I agree, and still hang out with your friends, here and there. But if they're partying, drinking, doing things like that, and this is better mindset, making money and stuff over here, it's understanding about going over there. It is like I'm telling you, go do it. You want to go with your friends, sometimes go ahead, or just be up with them. Like, yeah, I don't want to be going out partying and doing drugs, this and that, but I'll do this with you guys. We can still play basketball, we can still go to the movies, we can still hang out, every once in a while we can have a barbecue at my house. Like, if you are trying to changing as a person, I feel like you just gotta be upfront with your friends about it, and let them know, like, hey, if you truly just love me, support me, like, you're not going to be offering me stuff, you're not going to be asking me and trying to slip me back into my old ways as well. They're not liable for that. You got to stay strong yourself. But at the same time, if you do end up hanging out with them, they should at least not trying to push it on you. And going back, like, you should hang out with the other guy. But the other thing too, the person doing good with themselves, what are you bringing to that person? Because for them, they might just think you're a cool person to hang around with, so they bring you around, and then to you, you're getting knowledge and things from them, and whatever you kind of pick up from, you're going to try to meeting with their friends and like socialize and get to know people, because you might make other connections in those ways. And I feel like you have something that you could do for you, like, go out and do that. Like, that's great. But like, also too, like, don't expect your friends to be giving you that stuff though too. Like, don't be like, all right, well, I want to be meeting people doing big things, so I'm expecting my friend to do these certain things. He needs to stop and clean himself up, because that's what I want him to do, because I want a friend like that here. But you can't expect them. But I also don't completely understand sometimes when people say, like, they expect things from people. I don't always understand what they mean. So I would love to hear it, like exactly what people mean. I kind of feel like it's more of like a mentally thing, like you're bringing positiveness to the table, maybe bringing negativeness. In terms of like actual money, like maybe you're paying to go out to eat to do things, or maybe you got a nice house, a nice setup, and you guys hang out there and stuff a lot. Like, and all that is fine, but also too, like, you can't just be expecting things from your friends, especially if you're not giving them these things as well. And I feel like that's what I understand with a lot of people, that they act like they're almost like too good for some of like the people that they know. And I understand, like, be better and be above those things. Like, I don't have a bunch of friends doing like a bunch of bad things, so I'm not even thinking like, oh, I don't hang around with these people. I just see it as a lot of us just kind of do our own things, and maybe we all just kind of come together to do things together. I don't have expectations. It's not like you want to be my friend, like, what do you got to give me something. And I feel like that's what I just really don't understand with people. And I would just love to get some opinions. Sorry, my leg is so itchy. I'm getting chewed up by mosquitoes. Let me hear what you guys think, because I have like no friends that kind of like dropped other friends. Damn, I'm being bit. And I feel like, I don't know, like what you don't like maybe exactly how their life is going, or you think you know stuff about them, and you guys are talking and saying stuff about this person kind of behind their back. And maybe you're saying like you're worried about them, but you don't go to the person and say they're worried about them. Your real friend though, you would go to your friend and tell them, like, tell him, her, being like, hey, like, you've been drinking, you have been having anger issues, you've been doing other stuff, you've been cheating on your wife, and I'm faithful in my relationship. I don't want to be around that. You know, like I said, if maybe people talk behind their back, I feel like if it's a real friend, you should go to them. I feel like people that are like, will talk about the person behind their back, and then they'll try to like keep their distance from the person, and the other person will still think that they're cool, might be nice and stuff like that, or just be like whatever about it. But it's like, how you acting like you cut them off, but like, and like you're this like real friend, but you just kind of did your friend like that too. Like, obviously it was just a relationship, like you were cool with hanging out with them, but now they're doing some other stuff that you don't agree with, so you're just not going to hang out with them. Like, I get that, but I don't know, like I'm just going to tell my friend, if you're like, hey, I don't think you should be doing that, if you're going to do that, like, that's on you though. If you want to not do it or need help with anything, like, I fully support you, and I'm not going to be around you as much or at all if you're doing that. Like, you also just got to be straight up, that that's what you hold your ground too. But I feel like that's how you also, and it still might hurt feelings and stuff like that, but I feel like that's just a better way to go than to be like the person just talking behind someone's back and just kind of stays away, and then talks about like, oh, I don't hang out with them because they don't bring me value. But you weren't bringing them value either. Like, you could have brought them value, you could have been a real friend and kept it 100 with them and everything, but you did it. And if you did, you did. Like, shout out to people that are, and I haven't really been in a lot of these situations. Like, honestly, I'm only like really thinking about this. Years ago, I was talking to, like, he's still like a friend. Like, I still like wish him well. We just haven't really talked, but like, I really do. And I feel like he kind of said something that was like talking about like some people just not really giving him like a value, or not doing anything for him. And and so it just kind of got me thinking, like, and I've heard that before in other things. I've heard other people say this and stuff like that. So, in general, it just kind of got me thinking, like, what are people's expectations? And they're like, well, what, like, when they want to get something from someone, but then also too, like, well, is maybe that person giving back in return, or is that person maybe, is there a little delusion in there? Is that person really giving a lot? And maybe other people are not even seeing how much that person is really giving. But maybe also people that are receiving whatever that person is giving is not really a spot in their mindset, their life, that they're not even like fully utilizing it. So sometimes when I just get to thinking about things, I just really think about it. So, and that's just my opinions with it. And I would love to hear if anybody else thinks differently. And I feel like I've watched videos, like watching and talking to other people, you just kind of get opinion and stuff. And I just love to hear about what other people's opinions are, because they're not facts. And all because I think about it doesn't make it a fact, but also doesn't make it wrong because someone says it's not. But you know, I've always do love to kind of hear what other people think about situations. I like constructive criticism. I think the problem is a lot of people just want to give criticism, but also they're not doing things for themselves. Like if you're making videos and stuff like that, and you're gonna be like, hey, I think you should do this to bring, you know, like I agree. Now, like you're not doing videos, I feel like, yeah, like you can still maybe give advice, but it's, you probably didn't get that advice really from somewhere strong. You're probably just kind of thinking yourself, and it might be a good one, but it might also come off in a way that it just sounds negative. That person's like not going to even really like consider it because of the way that it was said. So I do think like if you really, you know, have someone's best interests in mind, like you should kind of care about how you say and go about certain things. But it also is important to say it, but also you should be a person that can say it, you know, as well. There's certain things I could say. Like a lot of people that actually leave negative comments, I don't really get many, but I'll get like some like kind of weird ones, even if it's like a fitness. It's like anytime I click on it, it's like never a person in shape. And not even it only be someone's picture sometimes, or someone talks about videos, they're like about putting content out or something, and then they have no content themselves, where they're going to talk about other people putting videos and stuff out, and especially talking like negative, like giving support, like yes, like I get it, that's great, but people should like negatively talk down and saying like you're doing something wrong while they're not doing anything themselves. Like I don't understand where that comes from. So I just feel like we should make sure that you are the person to talk and give us information, knowledge, and all this, if that's what you're trying to do. My mouth is so dry, I just so I gotta let it go. But you already know, guys, just make sure you're taking your own advice. Make sure that you're someone that should be able to speak on what you're speaking about. Everyone else have a great day. I get some water.